down in Langley, late at night. Smart old guys, they play it right. Captain Fun Bobby leads the charge. Silky mitts, Johnny gunshots coming large. Buddy in the slide, all the Chris's in a row. Nighthawks battle, it's a 2-1 show. Jackals, jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, jackals, no! Every day's Lloyd's birthday here. Whoppers and Fresca raise a cheer. Don't forget a shower beer. Check Pap's beard for lost gear. Jackals, jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, jackals, yo. Langley Twin Rinks, empty seats. Chili and buns, Christmas eats. A Chargers hat for tailgate. Nachos for the lady bing. Jackals, jackals, rock and roll train. Jackals, jackals, you can't stop the rain. Jackals.
Game 2 of the playoffs is here. You see the Jackals on the right in their white jerseys will be taking on the Shower Hogs. This game wearing orange after wearing their blue jerseys last game in Game 2 of a 2-game series. Of course, the Hogs won Game 1, so the Jackals have their back against the wall. They have to win this game, and then there will be a 5-minute sudden death 3-on-3 mini game to decide the series if the Jackals can pull off the victory in the game proper. Jackals have some changes to their lineup from the previous game. Last game, every player was there. Trevor, however, was not there in net. Sean playing goalie in that game. Trevor has returned and will be starting this game, but 3 players are out. Chris Weeger, Bruce, and John, all not here for this game today. So Mark, the lone spare that qualified for the playoffs for the Jackals, will be in the lineup tonight for the Jackals. This is the 3rd year in a row that these two teams have faced each other in the playoffs. 2 years ago, the Shower Hogs won a 1-game semifinal, 3-1, eliminating the Jackals there in round 2 of the playoffs. And last year, these teams met in round 1 of the playoffs, and the Jackals beat the Shower Hogs to send them packing out of the playoffs. So in essence, this will be a rubber match between these two teams. The winner of this series will move on to play in the final of the D1C division. So let's get to the first period and see how it goes. Quick start for the Jackals. Here's Mark with the puck along their right wall. Throws it across to Chris Marshall. It's a 3-on-3, and Chris is going to hold on to the puck, take it down low behind the net, throw it up front to Rob, who just misses at the pass a bit in his feet, and it's just off his heel and through him. Mark again, coming down the left side this time, holding up with the puck, putting it out front to Daryl, who chips it towards the front of the net, and then Chris Marshall's there to also chip it onto the net, and a mad scramble in front before the Hogs are eventually able to clear it away. Play now down in the Jackals zone. Hogs having the puck along the right wall. It's going to go down in behind the net, and as this player tries to move it out front, it ticks off Bob's skate, and then it just sits in front. That player puts it to the forehand, gets a shot on net. Bob's down. It's underneath him and Trevor, and luckily it's Trevor who covers it up, avoiding a potential penalty shot there. Jackals now back on the offense. Here's Mark again, sliding it across to Rob, who seems to have some space there, a 5-hole, and he takes a shot and then throws it out front, and Chris Marshall gets a good shot on net that is turned aside with the blocker, and then a point shot from Gary, so multiple good scoring opportunities there from the Jackals. Hogs trying to keep it in along their right wall. They're going to put that down low in behind the net. As Rob is battling for it in behind, he's going to get tripped up. But in the process of doing so, drawing a penalty, he puts the puck to Chris Marshall, who then bumps it out to Mark, who's going to go in on 1-on-3, go around the defender neatly, cut in front, and then slip it through the goaltender's legs. And Mark has his first goal in 2,409 days for the Jackals. And it's a big one that's going to give the Jackals a 1-0 lead here in a do-or-die playoff game. The Jackals are going to continue their strong first period. There's a face-off in their zone that the Shower Hogs win, but it gets drawn all the way back to center. This defenseman misplays it, so Jason Davis puts pressure on him. Jason retrieves the puck behind the net, throws it up front to Lloyd. It ticks off Lloyd's stick, but goes right to Darryl, who whips it home past the goaltender. And the Jackals quickly have a 2-0 lead in this game. You see Jason's pass, originally intended for Lloyd, is just going to tick off his stick and then hit the Hogs player and lay juicily in the high slot for Dale to jump onto. Here's David with the puck at center, over to Gary, and he's going to put that nicely up the middle to Chris Stuhar, who bumps it over to Aaron on the right wing, and he throws it back towards the front where David was going hard to the net, but it's going to tick the stick of the Hogs defender, and that's 2 plays in front where the Hogs have set the Jackals up for a goal, and it's now 3-0. The last time the Jackals having a 3-goal lead in the first period was probably 4,000 days ago when Mark last scored. Here's the Hogs looking for some offense, and they're desperate, just throwing it out front from behind the net. Looks like that hits Trevor's hand and then his helmet and then skips over top of the net. Offensive zone draw for the Hogs. This player comes in off the left wing and just gets it unimpeded and throws it towards the net on the backhand. So that's going to generate another face-off. And this time it goes to the right side winger, and this time he walks through to the middle, gets poked off his stick, and then it's loose in front, and then it's swept home. And late in the first period, the Hogs are on the board. It's 3-1 as we head to the second period. Hogs have the momentum. Bob has the puck, and he's going to make a bad pass over to Darwin. It bounces off the wall, turns into 2-on-1 for the Hogs. Player tries to throw it out front. Bob intercepts it, throws it out high, and it's picked up by another Hog player, throws it in the front. That's swept on net, and Trevor gets a piece of it, and it goes off harmlessly to the end boards. Hogs coming in on a 1-on-1. Gary defending, and he makes a nice play there to poke the puck and then pick it up. Puts it up to Aaron, who's going to lug it slowly through the neutral zone, waiting for changes to happen, and he holds on to it. And then as he's got it at the line, he holds up and sees Jer open on the other side, who fakes the shot. Defender goes sliding past, and then he shoots it. And it looks like maybe it tipped off the other defender's stick and past the goaltender. Either way, it's in the net, and the Jackals have restored their 3-goal lead. Here we see Jer with a nice fake shot that sends a defender sliding past him, and then he throws his stick back wildly, and I'm pretty sure that gets a piece of the puck and sends it past the goaltender. Jackals offensive zone draw. Rob wins it back to Darwin, who throws it towards the net and hits off the crossbar and out. So very close to being 5-1 there. Aaron carrying the puck into the offensive zone. He's going to hold up and look for a play very similar to Jer's goal, but this time it's going to get turned over. It's going to be a breakaway for the Hogs down the other way. Trevor standing tall to the backhand and off the post and into the corner. So the Hogs having an excellent chance to cut the lead in half there, but the player hits the post. Hogs coming in on the right side, pass to the middle. This player's going to take the shot, and as he does, he gets knocked down by Darwin there. No call from the referee. Probably an opportunity to have called one there, but instead the play is going to go back to the neutral zone, and as Rob is battling for this puck here in the neutral zone, his stick gets into the Hogs' skates, and this time they're not going to escape penalization, and Rob's going to be off 2 minutes for tripping, and the Hogs are going to have an opportunity to get back in this game, which is a couple minutes here left in the second period. Here they are working around in behind the net, and it gets thrown out front to this player alone in front, wobbles the first puck, and then throws it on net, and a save there from Trevor to keep it out. Hogs power play on the attack again. Watch Gary coming back down the middle, and 16 is going to come back at him and knock him down. No call from the referee. And then as that player is now setting up in front of the net, watch this little shove from Gary, not much there. And 16's going to come back to him and cross-check him in the back and knock him down. And this time, the referee is going to catch it, and he's going to call the penalty. You can see 16, a world-class whiner who spends a lot of the game complaining about stuff on the ice, is going to complain all the way to the penalty box. But we go to the third period now with the Jackals on the power play. Here's Bob picking up the puck in the neutral zone. He's going to push this pass across to Chris Stuhar, throws it towards the net. It's off the wall, and Aaron sees it coming out, and he shovels it on net, but the goalie gets across and keeps it out. Here's Rob doing some nice defensive work down low in his own zone, blocks the pass, picks up the puck, puts it up the wall to Mark, who then leaves it there for Chris Marshall, and they've got a 2-on-1 going the other way. Chris takes it wide, throws it back to Mark in front, who directs it quickly on net, and the goalie comes across and makes a nice save. Here's Aaron at center with the puck, pushing it past the defender, and then doing an excellent job to just be safe with it and get it deep in behind the net here, with the Jackals having a lead and needing just to get through to this minigame. And there's Jared with a wraparound chance, and then right in front, Chris Stuhar has another opportunity, and again the goalie comes across. He's made some really nice saves here in this game. Jackals looking to make safe plays and Hogs looking for some opportunity. Here's a pass from Bob over to Lloyd that just skips off his stick slightly. This Hogs player picks it up and walks in, and Trevor directs that off to the corner with his blocker. Time ticking down in this game, less than 3 minutes left. Teams just seem to be waiting to get to that mini game, but here's a bad pass up the middle. Darryl picks it off. Nice shot there. Blocker save, or at least the right leg anyway. Darryl gets in the corner and then throws it out to David, who throws it towards the net. Saved by the goaltender. It's sitting there loose in Jay's feet. He gets a couple cracks at it before the defender comes in. Little shoving match there, but the rest of the game is going to wind down. And so here we are in overtime, mini game. Next goal wins the series. Darryl has the puck deep in the corner. Jackals trying to maintain possession as he falls, so he sweeps that towards the net, and then Chris Marshall comes in and has a crack at the rebound, but the goalie covers it up. Possession still by the Jackals. Mark's got it, and he pushes it back to Gary at the point, who sees Mark going towards the net, so he throws it in there looking for a rebound, but the rebound is there and skips just past Mark's stick. Jackals have it again, deep in their own zone. A nice play by Gary to just put it up into an open area that only a Jackal can get to. Jared moving it up to Aaron, who just rips a slap shot with the screen, and that was curving downwards and just clears the top of the post. Here's a puck that's going to get picked up by Rob. He's going to put it back to Darryl. You're noticing all the possession here by the Jackals in this overtime. Darryl down the left side. Bob's going to go through the middle, create a little space as Darryl cuts across, and he whips it and just misses the post on the left side. Under a minute to go in the overtime. If there's no goal here in the overtime period, it will go to a shootout. Hogs putting the puck up the left wall. Gary jumps up to play it, and as he does, he gets cross-checked from behind into the wall by number 16, that crying player from earlier in the game. The referees don't deem a penalty or let the play continue. There's a good shot there by the Hogs, but a save from Trevor, and that's going to result in an offensive zone draw for the Hogs. But watch how they lined up. The player, nobody in the middle of the ice. Mark recognizes that, so he just chops it up the middle. Chris Marshall is on it, racing up the middle, but unfortunately he's going to get caught. But a really nice play there, and no more opportunities are going to present themselves. So we're going to go to the shootout. First shooter for the Jackals is Darryl. He's going to come down the right side, cut to the left, back to the right, and he has some space there on the 5-hole, but the goalie closes it up. 0 for 1 for the Jackals. Here's the Hogs' first shooter, and he nearly totally overskates the puck. The ref allows him to go back and get it, so he's going to come in down the right side, pull it to the backhand, and he had space up high there, but it's off of Trevor's shoulder and over the net. Chris Marshall, second shooter for the Jackals, coming down the left side. He's got space up high on the blocker side, but it's off the goalie's arm and wide. Second shooter for the Hogs, number 16, closing his mouth long enough to take a shot attempt, but he's straight down the middle and just puts it on net, and it's easily turned to the corner there by Trevor. Definitely the weakest attempt of this shootout round. Here comes Aaron down the right side, coming across. It looks like he's got space up high, but the goalie extends his foot and a stick and keeps it out. So if the Hogs score this goal, they will win the series. Coming slowly down the left side, back to the middle, back to the left again, but Trevor just stays with it the whole way and it makes another easy save. So we're into extra shots here. Fourth shooter for the Jackals. Pablo coming down the right side. He sees some space on the glove side and he picks it and puts it home. And the Jackals have the first goal of this shootout. And while we watch Gary celebrate at the Jackals bench, let's soak up the disappointed reaction on the Hogs bench, the shaking of the heads, the look of desperation as they have one last shot attempt here to tie this game and send it to an extra shooter. And as 77 heads out to do it, the Live Barn camera is going to crap out and we're not going to see the final save. Are you kidding me, Live Barn? But either way, the Jackals are going to get a victory, as all we're left with is this full arena shot of the celebration. But believe me, the save from Trevor was the best you would have ever seen, and the Jackals are going to win this series. So let's have a look at the stats for this game. You see Gary having an excellent game at the top of the table, that goal in the shootout, plus 2 assists, and every forward getting at least 1 point. So a real team effort here today to win Game 2 and then ultimately the series in the mini game. Here are the stats for the 2 playoff games so far. 3 players at the top of the table having excellent playoffs to lead the Jackals to the championship game. Let's see how they got there and who they'll be facing as we look at the playoff scores. You see the Snipers did beat the Steers in Game 2 of their series, but they also lost in their minigame. So the Steers go through, as do the Jackals. And that game will be taking place on Sunday at 3 o'clock. You see the website has not yet identified the Jackals as the winner of Pool A, but that is the game that will determine the D1C champion for this 25-26 season. So we'll see you on Sunday.